Oh my God, my gorgeous Virgo, you're going to have such a lovely surprise at the beginning of this week, and I'm so happy for you. Do you know why? It's because you've had a bit of a negative change in circumstances, and it did not actually happen that long ago whatsoever. My gorgeous Virgolini, something happened to you, and then you were just like persistently worrying and worrying and worrying, about something really specific here. When I said that you were worrying about something really specific, well, let me tell you, it's to do with you almost like kind of starting to lose your confidence a little bit. And I don't like when I see you like this, my gorgeous Virgolini, because you are just so kind of powerful when it comes to your mind. When you know exactly what you want to do, you do it like there is no tomorrow. You have this magical ability to manifest things that you're so passionate about, like so quickly, and at the same time you have no idea what a major role you are in other people's lives that are connected to you. The people who mean to you so much know how powerful you are, how different you are. And this is what you have to kind of reflect on every now and then, especially when you are kind of going through something really kind of difficult. And I don't want to sound like a dark lala, but it's a lot to do with you kind of, oh my God, just maybe being like a little bit negative lately, only because certain things kind of took place in your life, and they did kind of slow you down tremendously, and they did kind of make you to question things about yourself you never questioned before, especially when it comes to things that have been like your dream for all your life. You need to understand that you are very close. You are extremely close to achieving something so big, something so enormous. And this is what you need to keep in your mind. Going back to that slight negative change in circumstances you've had lately, it affected you, maybe your financial situation a little bit, it affected your plans, like really important plans you were not only like kind of thinking about, but these plans are an integral part of your spiritual journey. And when we are trying to work towards something really big, towards like a really big achievement, and the bigger achievement it is, the more challenges we are going to have. Be strong, my gorgeous Virgolini, because you are about to come out on top. Okay? Listen to me very carefully. The beginning of this week is gonna be mind-blowing for you. And I mean this, of course, in the best possible way. Because one particular message, one particular news, one particular realization, it's going to change absolutely everything. You're gonna have such a positive news about exactly what you were worrying about, and about exactly what kind of started this negative change in circumstances. This news you are going to have, it's going to confirm to you very strongly that you are on the right path, you are doing the right thing. And most importantly, when you have this important information and news, there is something, it's not only about confirmation that, oh my God, finally things are gonna be okay, but also at the same time, you are gonna it's gonna put your mind to rest, which is ever so important. When it comes to other elements and other aspects of our lives, we need to kind of reflect on, because when something is like bothering us and worrying us so much, it's tend to kind of drain our own, our energy. And then then we feel like with no energy when it comes to like, you know, like getting on with our lives in general. So I think that maybe lately you haven't been as active as well. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you ever feel low, if you ever feel down, if you ever feel negative, do not kind of just, I'm not saying you're doing this, but I just feel the need to say this. If you ever feel really down or negative or dark, everybody's going through these stages in our lives, you know, in their lives. Everybody's going through this. But because you're so complex and you're so spiritual, you're so deep, you tend to let things to kind of go on a very deep level. And that kind of makes you to kind of close yourself in a little bit. And that's why you have to do completely opposite. When I say close yourself in a little bit, you feel like to be by yourself, you feel like you don't maybe want to see anyone for a while, everybody's getting on your nerves, and most importantly, things that you love doing, like things that make you feel active, you don't do because you don't feel like you have this energy to kind of do this, because you just kind of let yourself sometimes go like with these things that are bringing you down. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go at you, my gorgeous Virgolini, whatsoever, but I'm just trying to understand you the level of like this kind of certain negativities that can kind of take you in. And this is what I feel that it has been the case for a while with you, where subconsciously you haven't been really yourself a little bit. And maybe if you reflect on other aspects of your life, you will realize that you haven't been as consistent with certain things that normally makes you feel so good and so happy and so excited. And this is your sign that this is something that something is kind of taking a little bit too much of your energy away from you. So when you feel down, when you feel low, when you feel negative, my gorgeous Virgolini, the worst thing to do is to close yourself in and to not to do and continue doing things that makes you feel so good about yourself. Maybe you're going somewhere out to exercise, for example, and then you just stopped your exercising, for example, which you know it's really good for you, because subconsciously you're not realizing that you have been affected by this negativity, some kind of negative change in circumstances that took the better of you for a while. And this is why it's important to always remember, do not close yourself in. Always, 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 no matter what, always continue doing things that makes you feel good. Okay? So this is always keep going, always keep active, clean the house, do this, do that. Don't just sit and worry about something, because that's the worst thing you can do. Okay, and by like being active, you're also like kind of like creating this really important energy, which is gonna kind of give you more power than you can possibly imagine, because that way you kind of stay on top of things. So this is what I wanted to say. But going back to this information that I said that you're gonna get at the beginning of this week, yes, you're gonna be very, very happy. And for the first time in a while, you're gonna feel like, oh my God, I can relax now, I can chill out. You will feel this happiness. You will feel this happiness, my gorgeous Virgolini. And don't get me wrong, please. I'm not saying that you will like completely miserable sitting at home. I really hope you will understand what I'm trying to say to you here. But the more open-minded you are at this stage of your life, the better it's going to be. So going back to that important information, news and message, which is gonna be so, my God, so amazing. You're gonna be so happy, and you will just kind of want to speak to the best people in your life, to your best friends, to your family member, and you will say how excited you are with this message. But at the same time, as soon as you get this message, it's not only an information, it's not only about like, oh my God, you know, things are gonna be okay, thank God, things are gonna be okay, financially, spiritually, mentally, brilliant. But also it's just so important to stress that when you get this information, there is somewhere where you're gonna need to go. And you're gonna need to do something really specific. And this is part of your plan, part of an ongoing plan that has also been slowed down. When I say part of an ongoing plan, well, at the moment you are working towards something really particular, really special, really important. This path that you are currently working on is a lot to do with, which changes immediately you need to make in order to get where you want to get. Because where you are right now at this stage of your life, you're like a halfway there. You're like a halfway there. So that's why it's important to keep going. So when you get this information and when you get this message, you will know that there is somewhere immediately you need to go to. And almost as if you're gonna need to sort something out. Now it's time to sort something out really specific, and what that is, it's going to be revealed through this particular situation. And then first of all, you're going to be like, oh God, I don't know, maybe you're going to need to do something you don't want to do, or maybe you're going to need to be surrounded by a certain person or a certain people you don't want to be surrounded by. It doesn't matter. Once you go wherever you need to go, something really crazy but good is going to happen. You are going to have a really amazing experience. You are going to have a really amazing experience. You are going to realize something major you're missing out on in life. You're also going to realize something really specific you want to and you need to explore. You need to explore, and you're going to feel so grateful to God that this actually happened, because if you did not find out this element of what you need to explore before you make one of the biggest decisions of your entire life in exactly 1 month's time, you will be blaming yourself forever, like literally. So this is why sometimes also we need to do with what we don't want to do, we don't feel like doing. But then again, it's again the similar to the previous situation, you just kind of make things happen that otherwise would never happen, but your input is needed. And in this situation, you're going to need to do something that you don't want to like normally do, but it's like once you get there, whatever this is, you're going to end up having this amazing experience, my gorgeous Virgolini, and you're going to realize there is something really specific you need to explore. And this is the part of an ongoing journey that you're on, but it's towards this aspect of your life you want to achieve. Okay? And this element is absolutely imminent indeed. Okay? Because this is ultimately going to lead towards you making the right investment in life, both when it comes to your time, your energy, And this is why this is going to be so important, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. I think that at the beginning of this week, it's also the beginning of your own comeback. Okay? The beginning of your own comeback. There are a couple of people you're going to come across at the beginning of this week. And I love these people so much, like two little angels who are going to be praising you up, who know, these people know you for a very long time. These people really like you. These people know exactly who you are, like your friends or family members. These beautiful angels are going to be praising you up and talking about the right things about yourself. And they're going to remind you of how unique you are, how beautiful you are. And there is an amazing energy that you're going to feel. They really are going to re-energize you, and they're really going to revive you. These particular two people are so important, you have no idea, when it comes to your own path, because they are going to highlight exactly what do you need to hurry up with. And one of them is going to suggest you something really crazy but really good, and something that you would never come up with yourself. And even if you would need lots of people maybe in your life to confirm this to you, because it's just going to be so big. But because it's going to come from these two wonderful people, you will be able to see this in a completely different light. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, talking about healing and ascending onto the next level of your spiritual journey, like, oh my goodness, okay? By the time you get to the mid part of this week, something very unusual is going to happen. Something is going to remind you of somebody who used to be in your life. You know, somebody who, you know, is in a different world now, somebody who's in a spirit world, for example. And there is going to be a very unusual sign and very unusual situation at around the mid of this week. And something is really going to remind you immediately of somebody who was really an important part of your life, and that person died or that person passed away, and somebody who really means to you so much. So you're suddenly going to be reminded of that person, and that doesn't really surprise me because it's happening now in October. And you know, October is when the veil in between this world and the spirit world is at its thinnest, so we are getting all sorts of like kind of intuitive messages we don't normally get. I mean, I'm not saying that you normally don't have intuitive messages, but when it comes to the months of October, you know, things are like kind of so much more intense, and we tend to be really reminded or visited by the certain spirits or certain, you know, spirits, yeah, that have been in our lives. So there is something going to remind you about this specific person in your life. And the moment in time you're reminded of this specific person in your life, the other people in your life that you're going to be reminded of, that you're going to realize you haven't been in touch for a while, and that you really need to reconnect with these people. And especially one particular person is going to be major. You know, nobody like that you've kind of fallen out with or anything like that. Maybe you just haven't been in touch with certain people in your life, and this is going to remind you of these people. But there is a one specific person that is going to be like a major out of all these people. And you're going to almost feel like a little bit guilty that you haven't been kind of in touch with that particular person. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolini, but then again, at the same time, you really kind of, I would strongly suggest you to get in touch with that particular person, because when it comes to, like, you know, something that is some kind of like a compromise, you're going to realize which compromise you need to make. Okay, through that person, you're going to realize an important compromise you are going to need to make. And it's not only about realizing, oh, which important compromise do you need to make, but through that person, you're going to realize that it's like not a compromise at all anymore. Because through that person, you're going to realize which aspect of your life has come to an end. And that is important when it comes to us moving forward in our lives as well, because it is going to come from somebody really, really important. And because of that compromise you are going to make, because of that realization, you know, what has come to an end, like completely, fully. It's not like you didn't know this before, but almost like you're gonna realize what has come to an end, like completely. And this is important for you because at the same time, you will not waste your time. By not wasting your time, you will be able to move on with your life. But most importantly, right now, you will be able to preserve, you know, and protect your own energy. And this is why this is going to be so important, because once you kind of preserve and protect your own energy, you're able to be so much more active and so much more energetic in general, both physically and mentally. So this is why, my gorgeous Virgolini, one thing is literally going to lead into another. And this is why this is going to be so important indeed, okay? And also, oh my God, you are going to have such a successful negotiation at around the midweek. Oh my God, so much happening, my gorgeous Virgolini. At around the midweek, you're also going to have such a successful negotiation. And you know, because you are just going to reach this stage of your life where you really are going to kind of realize how unhappy you are with certain things. And this is not a bad thing whatsoever. This is not a bad thing whatsoever, okay? So you're reaching this stage of your life where you really are, you know, one phase is coming to an end and another phase is about to begin. Just remember, I said to you, you're healing and you're ascending onto the next level of your spiritual journey. So now it's time, my gorgeous Virgolini, to also reflect on other aspects of your life that have been making you feel kind of unhappy as well. And this in itself is going to lead towards you. This is going to be good, because that's why you are going to decide to have some kind of negotiation here, and that negotiation is going to turn out to be more kind of exciting and more successful for you than you can possibly imagine. And also, my gorgeous Virgolini, at around the midweek, you need to speak about this, because there is somebody very close to you who is doing something that they shouldn't. You know, maybe that person drinks too much, or I don't know what it is. It's very difficult to say, but it's maybe to do with this type of thing, like addiction or something like that. So somebody in your life is getting addicted to something and got addicted to something already, and you are the force in that person's life. You have a power. You're very powerful, my gorgeous Virgolini. When you're angry or stroppy about something, everybody can hear you. The whole street, oh, it's Virgolin. No, honestly, it's like it's one particular person in your life you need to have a word with, because that particular person is doing something that they shouldn't. Okay, and it's like an addiction or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So please, if you do have that on your mind, you know that person is doing something that they shouldn't, but you already were aware of it. If you weren't, I would be really surprised. But then again, it can happen. You've been very busy, but it's most certainly going to be highlighted at around the midweek. So please try to kind of do everything that's in your power to explain to this person what they're doing. It's not quite good, because if they carry on, it's going to be very difficult later on. And the beautiful thing is going to happen. By the end of this week, that person is indeed going to open their eyes. And this is down to you. This is down to you. And you have no idea how beautifully this is going to get back to you. I mean, in terms of karma, like, oh my God. By the time you get to the last part of this week, I'm really sorry, my gorgeous Virgolini. I really hope that this reading is not too confusing. But sometimes I just end up having so much information. At around the end of this week, you know, I just need you to be very, very strong. Okay? I need you to be very strong. And I think that there are a couple of things that you're going to be dealing with that are going to be draining your energy, and you're going to have a bit of someone is just going to make you feel like a little bit stroppy. I think one specific person is going to do something, and you're going to feel like a little bit stroppy, you know, at around the end of this week. And you must not allow your own stroppiness to get the better of you here. You know why? Because almost as if you're going to try to, how do I say this? Okay, at around the end of this week, you are going to feel like you want to stop doing something that means to you so much, that you're so passionate about. And this is because everything you've been through so far and that negative change in circumstances affected you more than you can possibly imagine. Okay, so by the time you get to the last part of this week, there is somebody, it's going to do something that you're not going to be to you, that you're not going to be able to understand. Or somebody's going to respond to you in such a way where you're not going to be able to understand why this particular person or a group of people responded to you like this. And you're going to be like, oh my God, and you will want to stop something. No, 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 no. This is the part of your challenge. This is the part of your test. Don't stop something that means to you so much. Don't stop something that you're so passionate about. Don't stop something that's so deeply engraved within your own spirit, within your own soul. My gorgeous Virgolini, don't ever stop doing something you feel so good and so passionate about. This is to do with one of your biggest passions. And yes, we do change, we do evolve, you know, we do transform in life. But that doesn't mean that our own essence changes. This is to do with your own essence. Okay, and you must not allow this person or a group of people to put you off from doing something you know you're so good at, you're so great at. So just keep going and keep on being persistent. Okay, don't stop. Don't stop, my gorgeous Virgolini, because very, very soon there will be a sudden change you're going to have. And this sudden change is going to be good. It's going to be positive. In exactly 11 weeks after this moment in time, in 11 weeks, you are going to have a huge, positive, sudden change in your life, and which is going to be the direct result of you deciding to carry on and being persistent about this. Okay, this is why this is going to be so important for you indeed. So now, my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm just going to see what is going to be a tarot card of the week. Okay, so what is going to be a tarot card of the week, my gorgeous Virgolini? Let's see what is going to be a tarot card of the week. Oh, surprise, surprise. You see this? Surprise, surprise. My God, you know what? This is your sign. This is your indication to be as creative as you possibly can. My gorgeous Virgolini, this is your sign. This is your indication that you are back in the game. You are back in the flow. And now it's time to be creative. And I'm not being funny, but you're going to feel creative and really open-minded and really re-energized from the beginning of this week. But there is also something really major you are going to learn about yourself that you're so good at, you're so great at. Something major is going to be highlighted about yourself that you are good at, that you are great at. And I don't care how many things you're dealing with and how many things are going on in your life. Sometimes the more things we deal with, it brings the best out in us. Okay, so, and that on another hand helps us to reflect on things around us in a completely different way, because we elevate ourselves, and without even realizing, we see what we don't normally see, and therefore we understand much more than we normally understand. By the end of this week, there is something really specific you are going to need to feel, you will want to learn. There is something really specific you will feel like you want to learn. Okay, and do not ignore this. Do not ignore this. You have no idea how important this aspect of your life is going to be. So when you feel drawn to learn something and you feel so passionate about, just remember, it's coming from somewhere else. It's coming from somewhere sacred. This is the part of your path to follow. If you need something to re-energize you a little bit, if you need something to pick you up like almost instantly, then I strongly suggest you, my gorgeous people, to get something like Crazy Lace Agate, which is absolutely perfect when it comes to promoting in an instant happiness, when it comes to promoting vitality, and when it comes to grounding as well. This is absolutely like a perfect combination of things that are so necessary when it comes to our balance in general. Because at the same time, when you feel like really negative, when you feel really down, when you feel really sad, when you feel really spaced out, I mean, this life can be very, very difficult sometimes. I completely understand. But the problem is, when we are dealing with certain things in life, then certain things have got like a negative impact on us, and our energy is like taken away from us without us even realizing. Sometimes we are so energized, sometimes we have so many ideas, sometimes we are so keen to do things, and sometimes we are complete opposite. When sometimes we are down, sometimes we are negative. So, crazy lace agate, it's absolutely perfect, specifically when it comes to us not feeling good, when it comes to us not feeling right. Especially when this has been caused by the certain, situations in our life, which is absolutely natural, absolutely normal. But we need to get on with our lives. We need to get on with our lives. So this is why crazy lace agate, it's absolutely brilliant, because it's instantly, and I mean instantly, going to pick you up. It's not only about happiness, it's not only about vitality, but it's about this energy that instantly like kind of picks you up so you can get on with your life. You know how precious this crystal is. Very, very powerful indeed. This crazy lace agate comes with sterling silver chain, okay? And the link to buy this is going to be above, or it's going to be within the description, in the description below, or you can simply go and see it's going to be pinned on top of the comments as well, where you can buy this gorgeous and ever so powerful pendant, crazy lace agate. You see, lots of people don't realize how powerful blue topaz actually is, especially when it comes to activating your third psychic eye. Yes, lots of people do not realize how significant and how powerful blue topaz actually is, because once we activate our third psychic eye, we start to understand things we never understood before. We kind of elevate ourselves both spiritually and mentally as well. This in itself, it's ever so important when it comes to understanding so much about ourselves in general, understanding so much about this life in general. It really helps you to go through and to go forward in life with a completely kind of deeper, with a completely different understanding, much deeper, much more spiritual, much more serene when it comes to things that have been kind of bringing you down, when it comes to things that have been scaring you, when it comes to things that have been draining your energy in general. All this stops when you wear blue topaz. Why? Because you see things differently, and because it activates your third psychic eye. You elevate yourself to the point where you see literally every single aspect in your life in a completely different light. So why is this so important? Well, it's important when it comes to you progressing in life and making the most out of life, but it's also ever so important when it comes to you protecting your precious energy. It helps you to protect your precious energy as well, and this is why it's so significant. I mean, look at this. Absolutely stunning, my gorgeous people. And this is a handmade sterling silver bracelet, okay, handmade sterling silver gate bracelet. It's 7.5 inches long and it's 10 millimeter wide, so that is quite wide. And of course this is like a really high quality blue topaz crystalline, and this is something that I would highly recommend you to wear, my gorgeous people. And blue topaz also allow you to channel your inner wisdom and find a perfect pathway to successful opportunities, and to be quite honest with you, like anyone who wears this will embrace will embrace their authentic self and trust, you will trust your own power, and you will most certainly, do things in life that are gonna bring you success in general. You tend to make the right decisions when you wear these powerful crystals. So whether these decisions are like when it comes to your life in general, when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your success, when it comes to your career, when it comes to money, it does help you quite a lot, to make the right decision, because it grounds you. It grounds you in a really specific way. Can you imagine how powerful this crystal is, when on one hand it activates your third psychic eye, therefore you elevate, you become so spiritual like never before. But then on another hand, it's also very powerful when it comes to grounding at the same time, when it comes to you recentering yourself at the same time. And this is why, because you don't worry about things that you shouldn't be worrying about. And very often as well, people don't realize how draining this is on our overall energy, and we are not able to get in our life, to the certain stage, as quick as we actually could. So it really is ever so important when it comes to you realigning yourself like instantly as soon as you put this on, my gorgeous people. I really highly suggest you to get this beautiful blue topaz handmade bracelet for yourself, or you can buy it for somebody else. If you think that somebody else can benefit from it, why wouldn't you buy it for them? It's absolutely beautiful. And the link to buy this gorgeous bracelet, my gorgeous people, it's going to be in the description below, or I'm also going to pin the actual link on top of the comment section as well. But it is a rather beautiful bracelet, and of course I only have few of these in stock now.